Hey guys, this is Andre from Wealthy Neighbor, and in this video we will go through 5 steps to make sure we have healthy finances. Please take a minute to read this disclaimer, and if you agree with all the terms and conditions, let's go. The 5 steps I was talking about are: make plans and set objectives, prioritize expenses, eliminate debt, protect your assets, and finally invest. If you have probably seen this picture before when you visited our channel, it's right in our cover picture, and I list these steps in some kind of ascending order, meaning that you're supposed to start with making plans and end with investing. But more often than not, we are caught in the middle of one of these steps and we have some problem we need to solve immediately. So keep in mind that it's not mandatory that you follow these steps in the order I present here. I believe that this order makes a little bit of sense and working this way will make things easier. But of course, sometimes we can't follow it and we have to deal with problems as they come by. So do not be discouraged if you are not able to follow the steps in the given order. Just do your best to learn what each of them mean and how can you use them to make your life better and easier. People will usually classify their plans in 3 major categories. First one are the short-term plans, scheduled to 1 year or less. This can include buy some consumer good, for example, a TV or a washing machine, or some holiday travel. The second category are medium-term plans, which can be made ahead of time between 1 to 5 years, and these include those more expensive trips, buying an automobile, financing a house, or open your own business. Finally, the last category are long-term plans, which will take place in 5 or more years from now, and these include buying a house and retirement. No matter what's the time frame of your plan, make sure you document it. Write down precisely what your plan is, what do you need for this plan to work, and if possible, try to set some milestones to make sure you are in the right path. Do not be discouraged if you fail to reach one of your plans, or if you fail to reach one of your milestones within the time frame you have determined. Learn from your mistakes, write down what went wrong, and try again. Devise a new plan with the information you got from the previous one, and keep doing your best. In the previous slide, we dealt with our financial plans. And for most people, in order to reach our financial plans, we need either to earn more money or save more money. In this slide here, we will focus on saving money and prioritizing our expenses. The first thing I want to say to you guys is do not buy what you don't need. Remember that it's pointless to show off to your friends and your family. You're not gaining anything from that. And why would you spend your hard-earned money on something you don't need? You are just throwing it away. And that's bad to your finances and to your future plans. So realize this as soon as possible and avoid spending money with what you don't need. Try to save 10 to 50% of your monthly salary. This may sound as a very ambitious goal now, but I'm pretty sure you can do it. You just don't know how yet. So first, to figure out how you can save some of your salary, check your credit card, debit card, and bank account statements. Write down how much you spend on the stuff you pay in cash every month. Once you have all this information, list your monthly expenses in different categories to organize them and to make it easier for you to see where your money is going. Some suggestions are bills of food, clothes, transportation, and so on. You can be as specific or as broad as you want here, but make sure you are going to understand your own model and you'll be able to analyze it and figure out where can you trim some expenses. Once we can see all this data, see all these numbers, and see all of our expenses, we will be able to see if we are spending on stuff we don't really need, or if we are spending too much here and there. And by doing so, we can try to spend a little bit less because we want to prioritize our future goals. So the first step to be able to save some money from month to month is to know what you're spending your money on. Once you can see the whole picture, it will be that easy to figure out where you can cut down, where you can spend a little bit more, and how you can save money to reach your goals. Once you get into the habit of saving money month to month, you will be able to do all sorts of things with this amount you're saving. But the first thing you should consider is paying out debts. Pay debt as soon as possible and in this order. First, consumer debt. Second, car loans and student loans. And third, mortgage. If you pay your debts in this order, you will be able to minimize the amount of interest you're paying, because usually the interest rates on mortgages are much lower than on consumer debts. But there are different strategies to pay debt. For example, the snowball strategy. You pay the debt with the smallest principal first, and then you snowball from there to the higher principal debts. No matter the strategy you pick, you should pay debt as soon as possible. And once you're debt free, do not get into debt again. And how can you do that? Since you are a pro in saving money by now, take out this money you have been saving and first you used to pay your debt, now this money doesn't have anywhere to go, and build up your own emergency fund. It is recommended that you have some money available for emergencies, and this amount can be as much as 6 times your current salary or 6 times your monthly expenses. So in case, for example, you lose your job, you have 6 months worth of money to keep going and look for a different job. You will not get that huge pressure of not having money to pay your bills next month, and you will not need to rush decisions and take the first job offer you get even though you don't like it very much. Protect your assets. Sometimes you have so much to lose but you don't even realize. So make sure you consider if you need any kind of insurance, for example, health insurance. If you don't want to pay those high fees when you go to private hospitals. Home insurance, car insurance, especially to pay for repairs if you're involved in an accident with someone else. And life insurance if you have family members that depend on your income. We do not know what life will bring us, folks, so we better be prepared as best as we can and as reasonably as we can. But this does not mean we need to be paranoid. If we are able to reach this point in our life, guys, a point in which our assets are protected, we are debt free, and we have a reasonable emergency fund, we know where we spend our money, and we are able to save some percentage of our salary every month, and we have short, medium, and long-term goals, I would say I'd be pretty happy. But we shouldn't stop here. Once we have all this financial peace of mind, we should go one step further and start investing, making sure we'll be able to reach all our goals. Health and education are always the best investments because they offer the best risk-reward ratio. So do not hesitate in paying for annual checkup, because it's usually much better and cheaper to take care of some disease if it's discovered earlier than later. If you are not willing to invest in your own education, you will probably be left behind, and other people who know more than you or who have more expertise than you will take your promotion. So try to be as up to date as possible in your field. Spend your time and effort wisely. So up till now we have been focusing on saving money, and this will be the first time I will talk about earning more money. So if you are not satisfied with your current lifestyle, get a better job or get a second job. But do not stop saving. It may not be worth it to sacrifice your future goals. But you need to consider it carefully yourself and see what works best for you, because only you can decide about your life. Leverage your skills. If you can do something well, do not do it for free. And be a reliable employee if you work in a company, or try to do your best if you own your own business. But remember that money isn't everything. Try to live a meaningful life, whatever this means to you. Match your investments to your goals. So here we need to know a lot of characteristics about these investments. What are options? How much do they cost? What's the risk involved? And so on. So study, read, get quality information, educate yourself. Do not rush and commit your money into something that you're not sure about, because you'll regret it later. Just as spending money with something we don't need is a waste of time, buying investments on a whim is also foolish, because we are not being considerate and careful about the money we worked so hard to get. If you don't have time to learn about investments, or if you don't want to learn about it at all, consider hiring a professional to manage your money and manage your portfolio. But be careful about your choice, because there are many people out there who have only their interests in mind. So you also have to do a lot of research on this. Before hiring someone, you must know this person is legit. And do not take unnecessary risk. If you have plenty of time to work toward your goals, and if you can save a reasonable amount every month, you don't need to go into those extreme high risk, high return investments, because you don't need it. And guys, this sums up the 5 steps to healthy finances. We managed to put into these videos a lot of things and concepts we have learned in the previous videos, and now we can see how the big picture works. So first of all, before considering buying any investments, we need to make sure we have peace of mind in our finances. And the best way to do that is to have plans and objectives, to know where our money is going every month, and to prioritize expenses in order to save some percentage of our salary. And then go debt free. Pay our debts as soon as we can. Protect our assets, buy the insurance we need, and get that emergency fund. Once we've completed all these 4 steps, we can finally start thinking about investments. So guys, slow down and take all this information in. Feel free to share any other steps you might think of to have healthy finances. Thank you very much for your time. I hope you were able to learn something new here. See you later, guys. Bye bye.